One of the big topics of discussion at the tail end of 2023 for Branch County Commissioners, obviously, was funding going into the new year. Where is money at? And it's been talked about for an awful long time of restoring full road patrols. So a combination of federal monies and other things, and commissioners kind of made the commitments to move ahead with that. It's Branch County Sheriff John Pollack in the studio with us this morning, and obviously something that you advocated for an awful long time to get more people on the road, right? Yeah,
we've been 11 years fighting this battle.
So obviously that was budget cuts that took it. Back then, what was the staffing, and then what did you end up with?
Well, we actually had, at that time, we had 23 road deputies. We ended up, when it was all over with 8. And then I think it was in 16, the county commission gave us back 2. So we've run, an interesting fact is that the last 5 years of Sheriff Cannon's tenure, they were running about 17,000 complaints with those 23 deputies. And my last 5 years here, we've run at about 15,000 with 8 to 10 deputies. So, the volume is out there, and we've missed a lot of calls. And a lot of that is because we're no longer a proactive police department. We're just reactive. We just run from one complaint to the next, and we can't plan. We can't address issues, traffic issues and things like we want to. So This is going to be a great asset. It won't be the end-all, know-all, because we're only getting 6 back out of that 13 that we lost. So, we still got some building to do, but at least it'll get us started, and that's where we want to go.
You've been able to rely on the state police
right.
for a lot of that extra coverage, too, which certainly has helped. And of course, in the city of Coldwater, you don't have to worry about coverage there.
Right.
Because the city has that covered for you with fully staffed there. So what's the process now of adding those? You can't just turn a switch and have 6 new guys show up on the road, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly, and right now is a bad time, too. Everybody's having trouble with getting applicants and getting folks hired, but we have been pretty fortunate. We've gotten 4 folks. We actually have 4 folks out of our corrections department that want to go on, and currently, right now, we have 2 that are qualified to go to the academy, and we've hired 1 off the street that's going to go to the academy, and then we've hired 1 who off the street who's in the FTO program. So we're looking at having 4 of those folks trained by end of spring or mid-spring, and then we just have 2 more corrections officers who are going through their pre-qualification, and if they make it, then they'll be in the second academy. So we're going to be pretty fortunate. Obviously, if you add those numbers up, and you'll see that 4 of them came out of corrections, so that leaves our corrections staff short. And we went to the commission about that, and they were very good. They understood that we were going to need to find people, so they gave us permission to go ahead and start hiring early. That way we could have those folks trained, so when the road goes to the academy, then these corrections officers would be trained, and we would have, we wouldn't have that lack of continuity back there in corrections.
Who do you compete against in getting candidates for either the corrections officers or for road patrol?
Well, we have to compete with like Kalamazoo County, St. Joe County, every county around us, wage-wise pays more. Now we just recently got our wages brought back up to where we're more competitive with Hillsdale and St. Joe, but we still have to fight with Kalamazoo, and we still have to fight with Calhoun County on those. A lot of folks will come in and they'll look at this and they'll get a start and then they'll move on, and a lot of departments are going through that right now. We have tried not to do that because we've been on the wrong end of that stick and don't like it very well. You spend all this money and then they walk away. But we try not to hire folks or pull people from other departments. But if they do apply, we look at them, and that's, so far we've been fortunate.
Yeah. Branch County Sheriff John Pollack in the studio with us. How much has the Branch Area Career Center program helped, either in actual personnel or maybe just in general, making a job like that sound more attractive?
Actually, that's been a real big asset. Even more so on the corrections side than on the law enforcement side, because we have the state police that we have to compete with as well in all of this, and they've got a lot of opportunities and a lot of things to offer people. But the good thing about that program is it brings local kids into our department. Now, a lot of people say, well, what good is that? Well, the good thing is these people have roots in Branch County.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we get our officers, they come from that class, they stick around. We've got several on the department that have come out of that class. Roy Schutz comes to mind, Deputy Schutz, or Sergeant Schutz now. He's been with the department a long time, and he came out of that program, and we have several like him. Once they're here, they want to stay here because they have roots in this county, and that's been a real asset.
Now, to get those officers on the road, you need vehicles, too. Do you have enough vehicles to do that?
Well, that's another thing. Back when we had the layoffs in 12, we actually set all those vehicles aside, figuring, probably in a year or so, we'd be back out on the road, and we'd just pull those vehicles out of storage. Well, we've ended up using all those up. All our equipment that we tried to store is way out of efficiency, way out of sync. It's bad. It's no good anymore. So yeah, in fact, we were just talking today, this morning, with the undersheriff. We've got to buy flashlights. That's a mainstay for police work.
Yeah.
But if you've ever worked a night shift, and most of our people, with the exception of our two road sergeants right now, don't have any night experience because we haven't worked nights. So flashlights are an issue, and we've got all kinds of equipment to shop out and buy, and it's going to be a tough road.
So with the staffing here, though, so if you do get back up to the extra 6 deputies on the road, then when will people start seeing that? Will it be a full, true 24-hour coverage?
Well, that's what we're hoping for. It'll all depend on how they go through the academy. If we get those 4 back out of the academy, we get the other 2. We've got one that's on the road now and one that's coming up. If we get them all back, say in April, then yeah, we'll go right to the night patrol. But if some of them don't make the academy or don't get all the way through, then it'll probably be an incremental thing where right now we've split it our shifts up to where some of our officers, to give them that night experience, we brought them in at 4 in the morning.
Okay.
And started training them. Okay, here's what you do on the night shift. You do property checks. You do, you go check lanes. You go check all different patrol tactics. So we started doing that, and we'll have to do that incrementally if we don't get everybody through. So that means we may keep them at 4 and extend to 10, or however we can work it. And we've got to work real close with our state police partners because they want to get back to their original mission as well, and so they're anxious for us to get started so they can go back.
All right. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Good luck
Thank you.
in the personnel department. You never thought you'd be an HR director, did you?
No, I never did.
Branch County Sheriff John Pollack in the studio with us this morning.